What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another trading live stream. I hope you guys have had an amazing day or having a good morning wherever you are in the world if you're just waking up. I'm a little bit late to today's session. Well, not by too much, but I've had a pretty busy day doing other stuff. So I'm just eating my dinner now. So I hope you guys don't mind. All right, let me get some music on for you guys and we'll get started in the analysis. Oh, it's pretty warm here in Sydney, especially being like 7 p.m. But that's all good. I'm just gonna turn up my mic a little bit as well. If I can figure out how to do this. Just give me a second, guys. You know what? It's okay. We won't worry about it right now. All right. So, starting on GU, same process every day. Ooh, this looks really juicy. Just having a look at this price action. We've actually made this new high. So instantly seeing those seeing those EMAs in a full uptrend, seeing that L50 holding that buy zone very well. This is great. So I'll come back and do higher time frame analysis in a minute. GN, TDI, long bias, EMAs counter trend. So I'll skip that for now. Once again, this would be a counter trend move. I don't like that 800 on GBP JPY. See how going back we can see price holding the 800 on the 15 minute multiple times. So we can only assume that we could get kind of a push up or some type of resistance to that level. So moving on. Morning, Leo. Hope you're well, bro. GBP CHF. This looks good as well. It's broken out of the Asia range down here. Couldn't hold the 50 EMA and we got that push up. So this will be something I'm definitely going to keep an eye on. Looks like we had an A1 shift candle in there as well. GCAD still in that range. I like the L50 and EMAs are long bias, so that will make it to my watch list. What else? GBP AUD EMAs could be a little bit better. Overall long bias on this pair. I'll quickly check the 1 hour, 4 hour. I do like on the 1 hour that we struggled at the 800 EMA over here, and then we tried the break above here, but we got that pullback, and now we've just gotten that breakout. So we could definitely see a continuation to the upside. So I will put GA on my list. Obviously I would like these 15-minute EMAs to look a little cleaner, so I'd prefer the 800 below the 200. But other than that, moving on to Euro USD. If you guys watched the live stream yesterday, you know we took a long position in here on Euro USD after this consolidation. So we took a position somewhere in here. It looked a little like this. You know, I made it to 1R, locked my stop, and then I got pinned out, but it is what it is, all good. It is a swapping L50. I am still long bias on Euro USD, so let's see what happens. I won't put it on my watch list though. Euro NZD is pretty much reset. So moving on, Euro JPY. I do like this. Yeah, this isn't bad either. So TDI is in the sell zone below that 50 value, and EMAs are almost coming into full trend. That's kind of my only thing, and we are inside the Asia range. Sorry, don't mind me while I eat. So Euro CAD, long bias. Definitely a bit of opportunity in the market today. So let's just go through, find the highest probable setup by shifting probabilities into our favor using our checklist. And Euro Aussie. So now let's go back. I don't really like Euro Aussie. That 800 EMA coming right through price action, and we are stuck inside the Asia range. All right, so let's go back and filter. So GBP USD out of the broke out of the Asia range. We are building. We are building divergence, but let's see if we can get that push up and break. I'll keep that just in mind. It's not quite active yet. 1 hour time frame, long bias TDI and EMAs. 4 hour long bias on EMAs and TDI. Daily, so that is getting a green. As for zones, all right, moving on to GBP CHF. We have breaking out of the range down there, below the Asia session range. Broke below that 15-minute 50, but couldn't hold it. We got that push back above. And we do have active bearish divergence on the 15-minute. So let's keep an eye on that. 1 hour long bias, both EMAs and TDI. 4 hour long bias, both TDI and EMAs, and the daily. So once again, this one does have divergence. GBP USD is building it, but not currently active. So this makes it to the watch list, but obviously it has active bearish divergence, so something to be aware of. GBP CAD still in that Asia session range. As for divergence, yes, we do have a new price action high over here, and it is overbought, so that is some type of significance to it. Going over to the 1 hour, long bias, both TDI EMAs, long bias on the 4 hour, both TDI and EMAs, and on the 1 hour as well. Got that L50, which is that yellow line market sentiment, pulling in to the buy zone, which is above that 50 sentiment. 50 value, sorry. So looking good. You can see yesterday on GCAD we had that big bullish bar breaking above all that consolidation for the previous weeks. So obviously definitely bullish signs there. With that divergence being oversold as well, still in the Asia range, I will mark it as a blue. So there's a few knocks to it that could decrease the probability of the overall trade. Let me just turn my lamp on. So this is practically, we're shifting probabilities into our favor. That's what trading is all about, trying to find the highest probability trade setups. And this is why I love ASFX so much. You can we have such a systematic approach to the markets. It's amazing. So GA still within that Asia session range. Just by looking at this, we have active bearish divergence on the 15-minute, and obviously I would like the EMAs to be a little more cleaner. 1 hour long bias, 4 hour mixed. These EMAs are kind of coming down and kind of almost joining. That TDI is in the sell zone, and the daily, so higher time frames and mixed confluence. Hey Angela. So I'll make this as an orange, as this is GBP CHF and GBP CAD are obviously higher probability than GA. GBP USD obviously being my highest probability trade so far. Euro JPY, I like how it held that 50 EMA. We've practically been holding that 15-minute 21 EMA, which is that red line here, since yesterday, pretty well. We broke it here, couldn't hold it, we came back and we've just been holding it. And now we've come up, tested the 50, couldn't break above it and came down. So overall bear bias on this, I would like that 800 EMA above the 200. So EMAs could be a little bit better, still within the Asia range. So 2 knocks there. 1 hour is short bias, both EMAs and TDI. 4 hour is short bias on EMAs, but long bias on TDI. So once again, mixed confluences here. So this will go on orange. Still got some probabilities in its favor, so which is good. And Euro CAD. Still within that Asia session range. Kind of just broke that 15-minute 50 EMA. Massive pin to the downside here. So showing some type of bullish pressure. We just got a new 15-minute bar as well. So 1 hour is long bias, 4 hour long bias, and daily. Looks like we're getting that 8 and 21 shift as well. So that could be a bullish sign for sure, but that TDI is in the sell zone. So once again, this will go to blue since the majority of the time frames are, and I do like that 15-minute trend. Good stuff. So GU on top of my list. If this RSI goes overbought, it will obviously be a knock, but nothing major. Just because RSI does go overbought doesn't mean it's just going to completely reverse. We may see market just kind of exhaust itself, run out of steam, and we could just see a pullback to one of these EMAs, and we could see it rally back up. So definitely nothing, just because it's about to go overbought doesn't mean you just take it off your watch list. Still keep an eye on it. There could definitely be a nice trade opportunity on GU today. So it's still early. And we haven't got any bearish divergence active yet. So let's hope this RSI does knock out this RSI high over here. And I guess I'd rather RSI be overbought than actually divergence building against it if I am looking at a long position. So GBP CHF. Once again, out of the Asia range. We did have a, I'm not sure if the RSI was in the correct value. I'm pretty sure it was. It's definitely kind of picked up momentum over here. So, but definitely not a good risk profile setup. So that divergence would have kept me out of this trade for sure. We do know, you can see how it's respected it once, twice, and 3 times. So once again, we can only assume once price comes to this divergence line, we could see some type of pullback for sure. So let's see what happens. GCAD. One thing I should check is definitely check news. So today is Wednesday, the 18th of November, 2020. There was a lot of low impact news coming out today, so nothing too crazy. There is a lot of better than expected results, so that's pretty good. Yeah, but nothing that should shake up the market unless we have obviously any Brexit news with the GBP pairs or any breaking news or anything crazy happens. Hey, how you going, Fenil? I hope I got the name right, mate. Once again, thank you guys for hanging out with me in the stream. Let's hope we can find a decent trade setup, but taking it easy today. Wednesday is usually like my best trading day, so let's see what happens. So once again, looking at GBP AUD, you can see that bearish divergence on top. We broke down below that 50 EMA, tried to break back above, and now we've seen that big bearish bar. So definitely respecting bearish structure on GA. So let's see what happens when price hits the 800. And once again, I'm not a big fan of these EMAs. So Euro JPY approaching the 50. And Euro CAD was my other high probable trade idea as well. So I did like all the high time frames besides the daily. Good stuff. Now it's more or less a waiting game, and you guys can listen to me ramble on. Hope you guys are being well. Once again, for new people checking out the live stream, I'm doing the Traders for Traders practical assessment for the 100k account. Basically, Traders for Traders is another funded company out there, very similar to FTMO. The one thing that really sold me on Traders for Traders is that there is no time limit to complete your 10% profit target. So the goal is 10%, and you could do it in a day, you could do it in a week, you could do it in like 6 months to a year. So they don't penalize you on how long it takes. There is no time limit, and there's also no minimum trade as well. So that's really cool, especially if you're a new trader, retail trader, trying to get some capital behind you to make trading worthwhile and really like life-changing. Traders for Traders is a good way to get your foot in the door, and without stressing yourself out, like putting up, you know, paying whatever it is for the FTMO challenge, for example, and kind of stressing yourself out trying to get that 10% in 30 days. With Traders for Traders, you can just take your time, relax and everything. So yeah. So let's bring up the 1 minute. Let's see what's happening. So I'm either looking at the minute GBP USD. I'm looking for an ASFX A1 entry, which is a breakout signal. So if we can get a retest back to these EMAs, I'll be looking for a candle formation and a decent risk to reward profile. Almost 100 pip average daily range on GU, which is very nice. So far price has only more or less traveled. Yeah, not even half of that. So 44 pips. GBP CHF once again. Yeah, like we had an ASFX D1 entry down here. Very quick touch to divergence here. I'll definitely mark this one up later. We had that nice retest. But no, oh yeah, very clean entry in here as well. So this would have been a nice trade. That would have been very nice. But keep an eye on that. GCAD. Yeah, once again, still need a few parameters to make this the D1 trade valid on GCAD. GBP AUD, this is a less probable trade, and Euro JPY is definitely a less probable trade as well. So we're keeping an eye on them, but mainly focusing on GU today, GBP CHF, GCAD, and EuroCAD. So that'll be my main focus anyway. Hang with me guys while I just chat in the ASFX Discord chat, see what everyone's up to. So yeah, so with ASFX, it's all about shifting those probabilities into our favor. You know, you're just not looking for one or two things. We're trying to build a really solid case. You're not just looking at indicators and then judging just by the 15-minute. You're building a case in the higher time frames. You're looking how price action is reacting to significant levels. You're looking at price action structure. So when you can get all these things lining up that complement your directional bias, once you get that signal, you'll be able to execute it with complete confidence. Just real quickly guys, with GBP CHF, as I was saying before, let me just blow up the 15-minute chart for you guys. With that level and that divergence set in as well, you can see how we test first, second, third, and now you can see over here how we just pinned it. So that's why, like, as I was saying, there was an ASFX entry in here, but if you're comparing and building a risk profile, you're always trying to look for that minimum of anything higher than 1.5. You really want a 2-to-1 risk to reward profile. So looking for anything that you can get, you know, 2-to-1. Like risk 5 for 10, That's what you want. You want to know that the market can definitely kind of get that. So that's a big part of trading as well. Just kind of knowing risk and analyzing risk. I can expect more or less the same thing to happen in GCAD. That's why GBP USD is my highest probability at the minute. If this RSI doesn't make a new high and it does come down, we'll obviously have active 15-minute bearish divergence. So that will add pretty much the only knock to this pair. Higher time frames are in our favor. Everything else, yeah. So let's just see what happens. I mean, you could even, well, let's see what happens if we can break that RSI high over here. So a few probabilities shifted into our favor on a few pairs, but nothing too hot right now. Like nothing, I'm not going to rush any trades. I'm not going to get involved in anything too quick. Looking back at GCAD lower time frame, like nothing on the 1 minute. GA being obviously, I've got, what's that, 1, 2? I've got 4 pairs that are higher probability than GA, Euro JPY. So like, I'm just gonna wait for the setups to present on these 4 pairs. No point pulling the trigger on a lower probability trade setup just because the signal presented. Of course, you can like only if you can build a really solid risk profile. Once again, like if I can get 2R to the Asia low and a solid signal presents, it's definitely worth some of the risk. You know what I mean? It's kind of this flag pattern. Little channel forming over here. Yeah, so it's more or less just a waiting game now. Let's just see what happens. if you look at the L50 on G8, you can see that it's pulling down. So there was also a candle formation on GU as well, but I don't even think the RSI was in the correct value for an ASFX entry. Plus, that's a really weak right leg over here as well. So that's nothing I would have. But yeah, and then obviously if you're building risk profile, you would not even be getting 1R. Oh yeah, maybe to the Asia high, maybe 2R.
So bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so lifted. By my side is where you're sitting, in my life is where you fit in, yeah. I never thought that I would get this far. I wanna drive around in the nice cars. I wanna forget about my scars and just have a good night. I smoke something down, I drink something down. I'm feeling it now, I'm feeling it now. I could say it out loud. When I see you, my heart goes.
Yeah, so no rush to get involved in anything this morning. Just taking it easy. See how price is coming off now, that divergence line. So that is active bearish divergence now. So that's a knock against GBP USD. So definitely something to take into account now. Obviously that high time frame bias is a good kind of confluence to the trend. And looking left, we're up at this level. Let's see if I can find, there we go. Yeah, so we've tested this level in the past. So 1.32790. So let's see. Check out this news article. Indonesian coffin maker becomes instant millionaire after 1.8 million space rock crashes through his roof. Lucky it didn't hit him. Imagine that, just sitting at home. Space rock. Yeah, Elon Musk the alien. Amazing human what he's doing. Pioneering in so many fields with energy, with solar city, disrupting the car industry with Tesla, disrupting the space travel and space exploration industry. Like, it's one man. It's insane. The fact that he's got Tesla on the S&P 500, that's amazing. Yeah, but other than that, nothing too crazy for news events today. They've more or less already kind of. How you going, Reese? Yeah, you can't forget about the tequila for sure. There's so many scalpers on eBay and like people buying them for obviously the retail price and like skyrocketing the price on eBay. Crazy. I'm not a big alcohol drinker, but I think that would be cool just to have on your desk for sure. I wonder if you can actually buy them still, if there's any in stock. This will be interesting. I'm just gonna make an Instagram post in my live stream as well. Yeah, nah, they're all out of stock, the Tesla tequilas. Yeah, that'll be a great desk ornament for sure. That's amazing. I don't know, just a quick, cool little thing for any of you guys that like Tesla. If you look at the model names, hang on one second. So if you look at the model names on Tesla, you've got S, the 3 is an E, the X, and the Y, spelling sexy. He's such a clever man. Yeah, he's got so much hype around in social media with Twitter. Yeah, it's just crazy. Even with just like all these little things he's got. Like, he even brought out, didn't he bring out shorts for all the people trying to short Tesla a few months ago? Yeah, see? Sexy T. Yeah, he's a funny one. Anyway, back to trading stuff. Looks like GBP CHF is going to break above that level, so that's pretty cool. Once again, just a waiting game now. That level we just drew at 1.3279 on GBP USD. If that gets respected, I can see this coming higher. RSI has more or less gone almost overbought. I mean, you can argue that that's pretty much overbought now, because it's right on that 70 value. And GBP CHF, GCAD. Yeah, nothing looking too hot right now. See if we can get, I think we actually have, I just blow this chart up. Yeah, see, I haven't tested D1 entries like this where you have like divergence in there. You do have an entry formation in there. But since we made a new price action high, but not a new RSI, yeah, nah. That wouldn't be valid for sure. Yeah, so nothing really kind of setting up. Markets just kind of needs to play out a little bit. Give them more time, not rushing anything. Your GBP USD kind of respecting that level. Coming over the Euro CAD. Just gonna do a quick Instagram post. My Instagram got updated and everything's like all over the place now. Yeah, so GU definitely kind of holding that level. GBP broke above that divergence line, so that is definitely a bullish sign for sure. GBP CAD, look at that massive wick, like rejection wick down at that 15-minute 50 over here. This one over here, look at that. So hit the 50, came right off it. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really been up to too much today. Didn't really do much trading related stuff. Had a relaxing morning. Went out, helped my parents with a job, and that's about it really. So it's been nice to get away from the desk, get away from the charts for a bit. Let's look at GU. Be nice if we could see some volume kick in some of these GBP pairs. As for the dollar index, yeah, definitely bearish today. So that means Euro USD would be up with that correlation on the US dollar index DXY. For anyone just jumping in as well, I do trade the London session here in Australia, down in Sydney, so I only really trade the pairs in play, so GBP pairs and Euro pairs mainly. CHF pairs obviously being a little slower. I mean, if there's a decent trade setup on it, I will take it, but more times than less they are a bit slower. Yeah, like the average daily range on CHF JPY is only 50 pips, and GBP CHF has a bit more. I think it's like 85 pips, yeah. I'd be a bit hesitant to pull a trigger on GCAD trade since we are in that Asia range, and we do have active 15-minute bearish divergence as well from oversold. So yay, new updates. Okay, excited. On gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Look at that. Since Monday, we are up. Wow, 16.57% on Bitcoin. That's impressive. That's definitely kind of building that momentum. Looking at the weekly chart, we're back to 2017 highs. Look at that. Yeah, so it's only a matter of time before we hit 20,000 now Bitcoin. Yes, it's a bit of a slow day so far in the markets. Just wait for that volume to kick in if it ever does.
So if we get tomorrow, I promise I can try. Give you love to borrow, and just to get us by. Sometime when you're ready, I'll soften up the blow. Our love was never made to last, and I don't wanna give you back.
It's definitely good. I mean, this is why having a system is so crucial in trading and having a trading plan. You don't want to come to the market without any kind of direction, because it can really kind of induce you to kind of take trades and build kind of a bias. That's why you need black and white rules, very systematic and strategic ways to enter, exit your trades, and just a way to be selective as well. Shifting all those probabilities into your favor for sure. So but it does look like it may be a flat day for me. Obviously won't talk too soon because you never know what the market's going to do. Let's see if we're building that divergence on the 1 minute now. No, nothing crazy on Euro JPY yet. Yeah, but nothing crazy. Just sitting and waiting patiently. If GU does break back down below this level, I'm still going to be very bull biased on it, long biased. Oh, excuse me, sorry. So just generating ideas, watching the market play out. Once again, for any of the new guys tuning into the stream, if I do take a trade, you'll see the terminal down here pop up. Obviously, if I put that on the right thing, you'll see when I take a trade for the Traders for Traders 100k practical assessment, just to be completely transparent with you guys to see what's going on, how I trade, and give you guys some insight into the ASFX systems. But yeah, nothing too hot happening at the minute, so just having patience. Got just under 3 minutes on the 15-minute candle, so that will also be the 1 hour candle close as well. So we'll see what happens there. GCAD. Yeah, GCAD's just kind of chopping around inside that range here. GA back at that 800 EMA on the 15 minutes, so could see price react at that level. Euro JPY broke above the 15-minute 50, but couldn't hold it. So very interesting. Let's see what happens with Euro JPY. So I've had that 15-minute candle close now. So GCAD definitely holding that level there, and EuroCAD could be interesting for sure. Yeah, EuroCAD's getting more interesting as it develops. GE coming back down to that level as well. Also, I am doing a YouTube video going over how I backtest, how I design the spreadsheet, and kind of just giving you guys insight on how to gain more confidence and how to kind of just develop a trading system. So the very bare bones of it. just to help traders kind of know the process and what kind of goes into building a system, and also how to backtest for any trader out there that's wanting to gain more confidence in their system and just know more on how it works. So I feel like you guys will get a lot of value out of that for sure. So that's exciting. Hopefully I'll film it tomorrow and be uploaded by the weekend. So obviously I'll let everyone know when that is up on YouTube. But yeah, it should be a really cool video. I've got down, like, written down heaps of ideas that I want to kind of get out. So yeah. A lot of bearish pressure coming into Euro CAD now. Is that most Euro? Yes. So that means, yeah. All right, cool. That's awesome, Angela. Yeah, I have a lot of experience backtesting. It's what I did pretty much the first year in my trading journey. Is practically just backtesting and kind of building spreadsheets and just trying to really simplify the process, because no one really likes backtesting. It can get very tedious and kind of repetitive, but if you can do it in a way where you can kind of focus, you know, between like half an hour to an hour, you know, even logging 10-15 trades a day, you know, over a period of a week, you have a decent amount of trades to look back and a lot of statistics to kind of review on your trading system. Even if you just, with ASFX, like I backtest, even though it's a tested and proven system within ASFX, knowing that in the back of your head, your subconscious mind, knowing the probabilities and how the probabilities work out using the ASFX parameters, it just gives you so much more confidence in your trading, and it gives you a lot more consistency. So yeah, it'll definitely be a really good video for sure. We can see on GBP USD that we kind of just held that level. If we can break below it, I can definitely see coming back higher, or we could find some resistance to it for sure. But let's just wait and see. Not rushing anything. 11 hours. Jeez, Leo. I don't know how you did that. The longest I've done is probably like 5 hours without like any break. But I went into that like kind of zone. You know how everything just switches off and you're just focused. You're getting that momentum. But yeah, it can get really tedious. So that's why I recommend, like, just try, like, start somewhere and kind of just build it into your daily habit. Even just doing markups. I do the markups as well as entering stuff into my backtesting spreadsheet. So it makes the biggest difference in your trading. You know. Yeah, that L-theanine, I was a bit skeptical when I tried it initially, but I definitely feel a difference in it. Just those little things that really kind of give you that mental edge go a long way in trading for sure. Just gonna check the high time frames on EuroCAD to see if there's any zones looking left. So under 1 hour. Once again, I've said this in previous live streams and videos, I'm not really big on zones because looking at a chart, it can be very subjective, especially if you don't have any rules. I obviously, being in ASFX, I use EMAs as my significant levels and dynamic support and resistance. So looking at this kind of structure shelf in here, and just pull this left, so you can see kind of price like hanged around this kind of area a little bit. You know, consolidated in here, it rejected off here. So on the 15-minute, if we can get down to this 200 EMA, we could potentially see a bullish move off that. But I don't like how this L50 is falling below the 50 value into the sell zone. That is a bearish signal. So yeah, so GU respected that 1.32790 level, which was the level I had drawn up on the daily. These are kind of like the only levels I kind of use. So if I can get multiple points of confluence, so looking left, you can see price had this, we had this doji candle here on the daily, and we had that bearish move. And then looking left again on the daily, you can see price tapped it here again, tested it there, tested it here, tested it back over here, tested it there. So I've had multiple tests to this level. So obviously coming back to the 15, we broke above that level, retested it, and now we're getting that bullish move now. So obviously there is active bearish divergence, so you can see it reacting to that divergence line. So could see it come lower. RSI is technically overbought since it's at that 70 value, so just wait and see.
I've been right here for a long time. I've seen your dreams in the night sky. You know I want you to be mine.
It's funny to see how coming from a kind of higher time frame trader, kind of doing more of a swing trading approach, to a more active day trader since joining ASFX in April, it was very I'll admit it was very stressful for me, especially going through all these pairs and trying to put everything together. But just through pure repetition and going through the learning curve of putting in the effort and analyzing the markets, it's funny to see how I was back then to how I'm now. Like, I'm much more relaxed. You know, like I even got an extra 2 more screens on my trading setup just so I can have charts like spread out everywhere, just so I can monitor everything because it was so much. But as you guys know, Austin only uses more or less the 1 screen, and you know, like he's obviously been doing it much longer as an active day trade on the lower time frames. But you've got 15 minutes to cycle through everything, and when you narrow down and you know your pairs and you filter out the lower probability ones and you only have the higher probability pairs on your watch list, it's very, very stress free just going through it and just waiting for price to get to those significant levels. Since with the ASFX entries, that's where we find our entries, our setups off the significant EMA levels. So of course for any new trader, it is pretty overwhelming, but give it time, put in that like repetition, do the markups, watch the training videos within ASFX, and it'll eventually click for sure. I think a lot of people really do overcomplicate trading. They make it more harder than it needs to be, but with the ASFX, like, it's very simple. It helps that it's very rules based as well, so That's awesome, Angela. Yeah, I'm glad you're getting some value out of it. I am getting a lot of feedback from the newer traders. They really like the way to see how I kind of go through the pairs and how I kind of filter out the probabilities using the AceFX checklist, you know, with divergence, perfect L50, perfect EMAs, Asia range, and high time frame analysis. Like it did take me like probably anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes when I first kind of analyzing each pair, but once you kind of build a system and you kind of get used in the back of your head to, like, you know what you're doing, you kind of just go through the list so quick. About 40 seconds left on the 15-minute candle as well, so but a lot with AceFX is a lot to do with selectivity and patience. You know, it's like there was an entry, an A1 entry on the shift candle here. You know, but like seeing that divergence from back there inside the Asia range, it would have, you know, well, actually it's broken out of the Asia range, but not being able to get a decent risk to reward profile, that's something Austin has taught me a lot as well, is building a risk profile. Like if there is something like significant in the way that could potentially reverse price, definitely take it into account when building your risk profile, you know, or size down if everything else is more or less aligning with your long bias, because as we know, divergence doesn't mean change, it just means chop. So morning, Lindsay. How's your morning been so far? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it is, Lindsay. It's nice when people kind of... It's a great community at AceFX for sure. Especially people coming in and checking out the live stream. As I was saying on the coach's call, like, I'm trading anyway. If one person can grab a bit of value out of it, it makes me happy. For sure. It's a bit of a slow market as well, Lindsay. Like, few of the pairs just kind of consolidating. GU is kind of my highest probability based on higher time frames. Everything is more or less. Yeah, I was asleep on CHF JPY. That was the 2 candle formation. When did this? Yeah. Was it this one here? Yeah, that was a pain-free trade for sure. As soon as you would have, if that was the candle. Oh, last night. Hang on. This one here. No, that wouldn't have been. The time frames get me so confused. I need like one of those world clocks on my wall with like everyone's time zone. GBP kind of just chopping higher. If we get a D1 entry off the 200 EMA on EuroCAD, we may see that 15-minute L50 pull into the sell zone, so that will obviously be another knock. But other than that, that's more or less would be the only knock. Price is more or less out of the Asia range now. If this 15-minute candle closes pretty much where it is. But we could definitely see this keep falling. So, and obviously it will be trading underneath the 15-minute 50. GU kind of respecting that divergence now as well, so same Lindsay, I'm definitely watching that, trying to see if we're going to pull back to that 21 EMA. High time frames look good, EMAs are nice on the 15, L50 holding that buy zone quite nicely as well. out of the Asia range. Yeah, see ECAD kind of getting sucked back up. So it's having trouble breaking out of this little zone over here. Yeah, G, yeah. About 5 minutes left on the 15-minute candle as well, so wait and see what happens. Do you want to trade? Do you want to push buttons? Yeah, so a little bit of a slow market today. Watching some decent ideas, so just gotta wait for them to play out. If they do, looks like EuroCAD may break below the Asia range and then slowly make its way to the 200 EMA, but definitely don't like that falling L50. We are approaching the 1 hour 50 EMA as well, so I'll keep an eye on it, but we have to be aware that that will lower the probability of the trade, especially trading underneath the 15-minute 50. But there is no 15-minute bearish divergence, so excuse me. So I always say trading is like watching paint dry sometimes. Just gotta be patient. 5 seconds left on this Euro CAD candle. So we made a new low and a new close as well. And it's almost pulling that L50 into the sell zone. So we could even see Euro CAD come down to the 800 or even this S1 pivot, but let's just wait and see. Currently trying to work on a new sleeping schedule for myself because my wife does start work not too early, but she does get up early. So obviously with my trading sessions here in Australia, trading the London session, I'm not getting to bed till like 12:30 a.m. Usually a bit earlier, but it just depends on market conditions if I'm in a trade. But like, it's not like I have to do anything in the morning. It's just because she wakes up, it wakes me up as well. So just trying to rearrange my kind of whole schedule. But I don't mind staying up late. It's just trying to get my 7 to 8 hours sleep. So it definitely does affect me during the day and my productivity. So especially because I try and make content throughout the day and do the YouTube videos, the recording and everything. It does affect it. I can't run off coffee 24/7. did have this little zone drawn on EuroCAD, so let's see if it respects it or not. Better. It's a lot cleaner. I have also been toying with the idea of trading into the New York session as well. It just makes it hard, especially when like it doesn't really suit my personality. Like I've kind of adjusted my whole lifestyle around staying up later, since I used to wake up like super early, like 3:30 a.m. do like some type of trade. This is when I was working 9 to 5, do some type of trading work, back testing, whatever I was doing back like a year ago. Then I'd go to the gym, drive to the gym, do my workout, come home, get ready, and go to work. So that kind of thing worked perfectly. And when I got back home from work, I would obviously do more trading stuff, more back testing. But now, like my lifestyle now, like it's perfect where I can just focus on my trading hours, trade the London session. And a lot of the ASFX entries kind of do present. Even during the Asia session, there's a few, but obviously we don't have the volume needed to kind of... Yeah, I agree, Leo. London session is perfect. I just... Even with my back testing, I don't think it's a massive advantage to kind of muck up my whole sleeping schedule and just to try and maybe, you know, catch a bit of movement, but... Plus London session has the most volume anyway, so yeah, I think that settles it. I'm definitely just gonna stick to the London session. Like, don't get me wrong, like we do see some decent ASFX entries within the Asia session. Even from my back testing, when I first joined ASFX and started testing, I was testing within the range, but it just, you could never get that risk to reward. So yeah, it made it a bit hard. Ah, yeah, it is, Lindsay. Look at that. Yeah, it's kind of just staying steady. Some crazy, I shouldn't say crazy, but very nice divergence building on EuroCAD as well. Obviously trading underneath the 15-minute 50 and that 15-minute L50 kind of falling into the sell zone slowly could be problematic, but I am long bias on most time frames, so let's just wait and see what happens. Oh man. Crazy Wednesday already. End of the week is approaching quick. I was saying earlier in the live stream how day trading on the lower time frame has really kind of improved my trading. I guess you kind of just get more understanding of how price moves and how price reacts to zones, especially on Euro USD yesterday. As you guys know, I was in a trade in Euro USD. Like, seeing price movement, seeing price respect such a significant level at 1.18700, and as soon as you kind of get that break, even when you price comes up, it's hard to. This is all relevant on any time frame. This exact kind of these could be 1 hour candles, 4 hour candles, and the exact same thing would happen. It's all fractal, in other words. So you're seeing more market movement, how price reacts to levels and everything like that in real time, and getting that bigger understanding being a day trader. Even patterns like flag patterns, breakout patterns, pennants, triangles. It's the same psychological pattern as the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour. Because price moves the same on every time frame. You know, obviously if you're looking for entries on a daily, it's obviously going to take longer to present, you know, compared to the 4 hour or 15 minute. So definitely being more of an active day trader, seeing how price moves and just analyzing it more in depth has definitely helped me become a better trader. And even with backtesting, the signals, the SFX signals, you obviously, because you're on a low time frame, you get a much larger sample size. It's just a shame TradingView doesn't go back so far, which I am in the process of trying to buy historic data through Awanda, because I know they have it. I just got to find a trading platform besides MT4 to get access to it. The next thing, the only kind of trading platform I know where you can access a lot of historic data is NinjaTrader. So if I can get that running, and I do know you can get the EMAs obviously and the TDI indicator within NinjaTrader, which is obviously very important for my back testing. So if I can get my hands on at least 5 years, the last, so back to 2015, of Awanda historic data imported into NinjaTrader, I'll be a very happy boy, because that will give me the ability to get a very large sample size and really kind of get a much better understanding of the ASFX entries, testing it on as many pairs as I can. Even though I actively trade GBP pairs, I'll definitely test them on the Asia pairs, New York pairs, and indices, gold, silver as well, so, and Bitcoin, just to see how, because technical analysis should technically be applied, can be applied to all instruments. Obviously each market will move different, you know, each currency pair has its own characteristics and its own type of style. Same goes with stocks, same goes with gold, silver, Bitcoin, just different market participants. So it'll be interesting. So hopefully I can get my hands on that data. I do know I can get my hands on a lot of FXCM data, but obviously, like, I want it to be as accurate as I can, because I can see myself being with Awanda for a while on my personal trading account anyway. But yeah, it's just something I'm working on in the background. But imagine 5 years of data on one pair of back-tested ASFX entries, even D1s, because I'll be able to get that 1 minute data as well. That would be interesting. Because I think TradingView only does 5,000 candles, if I'm correct. So obviously in the 1 minute, 5,000 candles isn't very far back. It's already 60 candles for 1 hour. So yeah. How's Euro USD? Yeah, USD is coming up again. My focus is kind of shifting towards Euro USD, since we do kind of have the parameters in set for a D1 ASFX D1 entry. L50 isn't quite in the sell zone, so it's not swapping. It's kind of leveling out. But my only concern is that 15-minute 50 EMA. Once again, there was, I'll just double check that there was no 15-minute bearish divergence. No. Price did go oversold yesterday, but overall long bias. Overbought, sorry. We do have 1 hour divergence as well. Well, depends how you look at it, really. I do like this 4-hour structure as well, so obviously lower high, lower low, and then we had this kind of rally making a higher high, high low, and now we made this higher high yesterday. So we can only assume that price may hold this 4-hour 8 EMA and come higher, since we are higher time frame bias. So yeah, I agree, Leo. It's kind of approaching it quite quickly there as well. So we got 10 minutes on this 15-minute bar, so and risk to reward profile will definitely be pretty solid just by looking at this as well. So let's just see what happens. Already got that 15-minute RSI and trendline cross as well. Could have even gotten in around here. Would have been up pretty much 1R depending on spread. But we like that retest for sure. Just also a quick tip with like Indian trader, like let the market show you its hand. Like price has been kind of making this bearish move, chopping down slowly. Once you start building that, like Leo was saying, that bullish structure, and you kind of know price is starting to make higher highs and higher lows, it's just kind of signaling, you know, bullish momentum, like bulls are getting in control. So like there is no need to be like, unless you want to, that suit your personality, to be an aggressive trader and just getting involved on like, you know, the first break. Would you classify that as a knock, Lindsay? Like, would you classify it as a bearish signal that we could struggle breaking back above? Just depending when we get in, but yeah, that makes sense. I have pivots on my charts. I obviously haven't got much experience with them, but obviously, like I was saying before, being an active day trader and seeing how price does react to them, I am slowly starting to understand how price moves around the pivots. So yeah. Yeah, GCAD was divergence in the Asia range for me as well. I think with EuroCAD, how that the last this 15-minute candle broke the Asia range. But yeah, I do like that there isn't any divergence on it. Yeah, that's true too. And it's definitely showing resistance to that 50 EMA as well, Lindsay, which is good on GBP CAD. Just over 4 minutes on the 15-minute candle to close. So if we can get a break above that 15-minute 50 EMA, that will more or less induce me to look for that retest on the 1 minute and get involved for sure.
Your love is something I could get used to. You know you're someone I wanna spend my time with. A life with you, and it's been killing me to keep secretly wanting someone.
I wish I was like I wish I could capture my emotion on camera when I first started with ASFX. Just to see how relaxed I am now with these entries. Like before, I was like, heart rate would be going high, be freaking out, be like making sure everything's perfect. But it's just crazy to see how you can evolve over like time. Euro news at 10 a.m. Consumer price. Sometimes that can be volatile. Yes, I have been caught out in this before, Lindsay. Even though yeah, let's see what happens.
And what you gonna do when you have to choose between what you want and what you're used to? And there is no right or wrong, but you've been unhappy for so long. What you gonna do when you have to let go of the law to get what you want? What do you want to be? What do you want from me? Who do you want to be? I give you everything.
see what happens. No, yeah, I see that too, Lindsay. Let's see what it does at that 200 EMA. The 21 EMA, sorry. Even the 50. What's GU up to? GA. Euro JPY. Euro CAD pulling down now. Yeah, just as forecast as well with the news, so crazy to watch TradingView and my MT4 terminal, how quick the MT4 terminal is to print the candles. I think TradingView is like lagging behind at least 2 seconds. Obviously not pulling the trigger at all yet. I'm just gonna wait. It's also about finding that balance of being okay if the trade kind of runs away from you without your entry as well. That's why backtesting markups is so important to build confidence in your system. Once you start seeing these patterns and how they react to levels, you kind of get a general idea of how market's going to react. Like, there's no rush. Like, it's only made a higher high. You know, you want those higher highs, higher lows for bearish structure on the 1 minute. That 15-minute L50 as well. Like, didn't break to 15-minute 50. It's all these little things in the parameters that you really got to build your case and take into account. You just can't get excited and be too kind of outcome driven. Just focus on the parameters, the probabilities, and how price is reacting to these levels. Because a lot of, you know, new traders or amateur traders would have just jumped into this and got excited, you know, because price is starting to rally, you know, breaking these highs. But you got to take in the bigger picture as well. GBP CHF. GBP CAD. This is what I was talking about yesterday, guys, with opportunity in the market and having that kind of like abundant mindset. If you miss a trade, or a trade presents out of your trading hours, or you missed it for whatever reason, don't get FOMO and chase it. Like, I'm watching 4 pairs high probability trades, right? This happens every day. There is always opportunity. So there's no need to rush anything. Always stick to those high probability trade setups, and it's okay to be selective, even if you don't take a trade, you know. The amount of value I've gotten just from Austin and through his AceFX courses, and even the guys in the AceFX Discord chat in the community, just seeing their way of how they approach AceFX and what patterns they're seeing within the system. It's just amazing to see everyone kind of getting the message that Austin is trying to push through. So a little bit of volume picking up in the market as well as we progress further into our trading session. GCAD down at that 15-minute 50 EMA as well. So once again in the Asia range and divergent on top. GBP CHF has broken that RSI divergence level as well that we had over here. Hasn't gone overbought either. I'm just going to push this up on the probabilities list. Yeah, it's a strong bearish 15-minute bar. For anyone that understands the D1 entries in the SFX system, we know that the best D1s come off that 50 EMA. But let's see what happens on EuroCAD. It does have that 1 hour bearish divergence active there. It could still come higher since all the high time frames are long bias. All these things just drops down to the 800, 15-minute 800 EMA. Let's see what happens. CAD pairs must be gaining. Mainly GBP CAD is falling and Euro CAD. As Austin always says, let the trades come to you. No point rushing anything for sure. Very strong 15-minute bar, bearish bar. Approaching EuroCAD's approaching the 1 hour 50 EMA as well, so let's see what happens. Patience is key. Wow. Bye bye EuroCAD. See ya. Is that all Euro pairs? No, just I think it's just CAD. Is CAD the correlation between oil? Because I know yesterday we had that OPEC JMC meeting, which is basically oil talks, and that was all day yesterday. So I don't know if that's just a delayed. I don't know. I have no idea. I am trying to learn a lot more on fundamentals, definitely. We've had here in Australia, we've had a few COVID spikes up in Adelaide, which is South Australia. So they're stopping travel over there again. It's just crazy. Crazy with all the restrictions and, oh man, I'm so over it. Especially so close to Christmas and people wanting to visit family interstate and everything. Yeah, it's crazy, eh, Lindsay? Like, lockdown. I always keep saying to people, like, 12 months ago, if you told me that we're going to be locked inside of our house by law, I'd think you're crazy. But it's literally a reality for most of us in the world at the minute. I am tempted to subscribe to a news platform. Let me pull up the one I'm looking at. Like, I'll always be a technical trader, like always base my trades off technicals, but I think the fundamental side of it just kind of interests me a little bit. See, this makes it hard, you know, looking for, like, fighting this bullish momentum, bearish momentum, sorry. GU kind of just holding that 15-minute 8 in EMA. GBP CHF kind of just came back down to this previous zone over there. So, Lindsay, does that include your kids as well? So, do your kids still go to school, or are they in lockdown as well? Okay, yeah, it's similar to when we went in lockdown here in New South Wales. A lot of the students still went to school, which I don't understand. Like, I do, but it's funny. even with like the certain curfews in Melbourne we've just had over the past few months, like certain time zones, people can't go out in the streets. It's just crazy. That's right, Leo. Yeah, very confusing. I feel like the world doesn't know how to react to this kind of pandemic. Like, you'd think that has some type of plan in place. Oh well. I don't know. Leo. Yeah, that industrial workforce age. I mean, the growth of technology is absolutely insane. I think the old kind of labor days and kind of working in a warehouse, packing, and I don't know. I don't see it going to be around for much longer. I mean, robotics are taking over almost every industry. Artificial intelligence is like at that point where it can almost program software and whatever. I don't know if it was Google or some high-tech company is developing an artificial intelligence website where you can literally type in what you want it to do and it will code it and build it for you. Like, that's insane. Like, you type like a search engine and like, let's say you want an app and you type in what you want the app to do and the AI will kind of just do it. That's ridiculous. Yeah, so I think CAD pairs are kind of off the list. So, well, the ones I was watching anyway, like EuroCAD and GBP CAD. Kind of blows out two of the ideas. Yeah, because it's just hard trying to look for a long position on these now. Depending what price does. I mean, we could bottom out, but there's no kind of significant level or EMA unless we get down to the 800 EMA, but then the 15-minute L50 will be well and truly into the sell zone by then. And I don't like trading swapping L50s, so once the L50 starts swapping, it does kind of take that pair off my list. For now, I just need more backtesting data and results and confidence in those trades. GU kind of doing its thing up there. I think GBP CHF is the cleanest looking one so far left on my list. So I think I'll start shifting my focus, especially that one 15-minute L50 starting to rise as well. Let's just see if we can get an entry somewhere. That would be sweet. Yeah, Reese, definitely agree on that. So I can probably get rid of that too. So it was drawn up from over here. And yeah, it's broken on price action and RSI from that previous RSI high. I mean, I don't know if you guys go this far back looking for divergence, but I don't. It's like it way into last week.
I'm not looking for someone to dry all my tears. No, I'm not
Just
looking
wait and see.
someone to scare away the fears. No, I know it's not gonna happen. Don't believe in happy forever after. No one should have to feel the storm. We're unable to speak with voices to soar. We could do better than this. We could do better than this. When you stand in the middle of the crowd, I wanna know it's me that you're missing. We could do better than this. We are much bigger than this. When you stand in the middle of the crowd, I wanna know it's me that you're missing. Me that you're missing. Me that you're missing. We could do better than this. It's not that you're not strong, or that you know what I need. In the past I played along, so devoted I lost parts of me. This time it's not gonna happen. Don't need happy forever after. I let go of past if you do too. To leave now would be running from the truth. We could do better than this. We could do better
Also like that
than this.
bullish 15-minute structure of higher highs and higher lows on that 15-minute. Same kind of thing on the 1 hour as well. See price making these high highs. L50 in the buy zone. Perfect EMAs. Same thing on the 4 hour. I think it was the daily. Yeah, same thing on the daily as well. So GBP I mean, if I was looking for a target where we could see some type of resistance, it would be way up there near ADR. So let's see what happens. Definitely long bias, perfect EMAs and kind of structure on the 15-minute.
You got my head off the ground. You pick me up when I drown. You got my head spinning round. I'm out of control, just hold on. We can make this last a while, but you keep acting like a child. So we can do this one more time, then I'm not gonna do this anymore. Cry on my shoulder and make me feel like I'm the one. So go and cry on my shoulder, so you can find someone but me to hold you. Let's just say our last goodbye, but now you can lay down for a while and cry my shoulder, so you can find someone but me to hold you dear. You got my head off the ground. You pick me up when I drown. You got my head spinning round. I'm out of control.
CAD, Euro CAD, and GBP CAD still falling.
So we can do this one more time. Then I'm not gonna do this anymore. Cry on my shoulder and make me feel like I'm the one. So go and cry on my shoulder, so you can find someone but me to hold you. Let's just say our last goodbye, but now you can lay down for a while and cry on my shoulder, so you can find someone but me to hold you dear. Let's just say our last goodbye, but now you can lay down for a while and cry on my shoulder, so you can find someone but me to hold you dear.
Should plan some topics to talk through on these live streams. You know what? That's what I'll plan to do next week. I think of some really cool things to talk about trading related, and I'll just ramble on about them. Definitely, Lindsay, that is a really good idea. Some Q&As. I'll do that next week. I think that'll be good value for people for sure. Anyone wanting to know more about the ASFX systems, how I trade, anything trading related, I think that'll be really cool for sure. Wow, EuroCAD still falling. Hey, good morning, Carlos. How are you? GCAD is still falling. So it looks like GCAD kind of found resistance at that Asia low. That's funny because we're still kind of ranging inside of here. Also that monthly high level as well. So that's awesome, Carlos. Did you have some time off from trading on a holiday or something? Yeah, it's always good to kind of get away. I do look forward to kind of reflecting on the year I've had around the Christmas period, because I've been actively like pretty much every week, every night since April. I actually don't think I've taken any time off trading. So it's definitely good to kind of step back, reflect, and kind of reset yourself a little bit. Really hoping we can get an entry in here. That would be sweet. Or even down at the 50. Yeah, I mean, I did struggle with consistency in the beginning. I think a lot of people do. Trying to develop a new routine into your daily structure, it does take a bit of time. For me, I slowly introduced it. So now obviously I trade, between 3 and 5 hours, just depending on market conditions and if I'm actively managing a trade. But like, I didn't start doing that straight away. Like first it was like kind of half an hour with AceFX and just going through the charts and kind of getting a feel for the system. And then like I slowly increased it to an hour, then 2 hours. So I think the best thing is to kind of slowly build those habits and build the consistency, and just try not to overwhelm yourself too much with like, sitting at the desk for 4 hours straight. Usually if I'm not live streaming, I take a lot of breaks. Yeah, so I take a lot of breaks during my trading session, especially if markets are slow. There's no need to kind of sit here and just watch candle by candle. But just check it every 15 minutes, come back and, my biggest takeaways this year, Lindsay, is definitely becoming consistently profitable for me. That's something I really haven't taken the time to sit back and kind of acknowledge. Even with trading profits, I haven't really rewarded myself with taking money out and kind of using that money in the real world. So I think maybe kind of taking some money for myself at the end of the year and just kind of rewarding my behavior and discipline this year, and especially with AceFX and building that consistent habit. So, which is really exciting. Like, I didn't give myself enough credit for it, that's for sure. Even with this traders for traders thing, like my goal is by the end of the year to, pass that 10% profit target, and that's just another thing I can add to one of those list of achievements for the end of the years. So yeah, like even becoming a coach for AceFX, like it's still something I haven't really acknowledged. Like, yeah, it's just a surreal feeling. I mean, like, I really wish international travel wasn't restricted here in Australia, because like I definitely come to like visit Austin or just kind of get around some of the AceFX members and just meet them in person. Like, it's been such a massive growth factor for me coming into AceFX. So definitely something to celebrate and look back on for sure. Actually, like, this whole year has just been crazy. Like, it's so much forced growth. Like, I really put myself against the wall and gave myself no option to make it work. Like, it'll be definitely a year to look back on for sure. I mean, for many people, like the ups and downs, the good and bad. I'm just glad I was learning a digital skill way before any pandemic or COVID, really. So I kind of just took full advantage of it and just, yeah, went all out. Looks like we won't get, we'll never say never, but looks like it may, GBP CHF may want to just kind of continue off higher, but we could see that retest. So what other pairs on my watch list I've kind of playing out? With GCAD, yeah, nothing quite in there. GBP AUD, I'm not a big fan of those 15-minute EMAs, L50 falling into the sell zone and trading underneath that 15-minute 50 EMA with overbought bearish divergence. So that is more or less off the list for me. Way too many knocks. As for Euro JPY, there was a shift candle in there, but obviously nothing lined up with the parameters we need for the ASFX A1 entry in there. And Euro CAD really kind of just wanting to push lower here. Yeah, so the only things I'm really looking at is kind of GU and GBP CHF. Thanks for the share in the Discord, Lindsay. Crazy too, because live streaming and kind of just talking to you guys, it's putting my mindset in a creative state. So like I'm writing down like a lot of ideas I'm thinking of, just kind of putting words out. So yeah, so giving me heaps of content ideas for YouTube, and it's really exciting. With GU already overbought, what is your approach if an entry presents? So with GBP USD being overbought, I believe there is 15-minute bearish divergence on there as well. I would need to be able to build a decent risk to reward profile before getting involved. So obviously looking at this divergence, let's just say we got an entry somewhere here, depending if it's an A1 off that 21, there wouldn't be enough for me to kind of enough confidence for me to pull the trigger. Maybe a D1 off the 50, that would make more sense, but we'll definitely need a lot of confluence on the 1 minute bullish structure, you know, but that's way off from happening. But I'll just have to build, to answer your question, I'll just have to build a solid case of, you know, bulls still being in control and kind of bears just kind of just a pullback really. But yeah, definitely just looking for that risk to reward. I don't like trading into divergence. I've been kind of called out way too many times. But GBP CHF is definitely kind of the one I'm watching, just because we don't have divergence and higher time frames align with the 15-minute trend. Perfect L50, you know, it's not falling or anything, it's kind of just rising there. Out of the Asia, yeah, it's just perfect. Euro CAD still making lower lows. Just to think I was more or less looking for a long position. This is why patience definitely pays. Just because price did make a higher high doesn't mean it's gonna shoot to the moon. You gotta give it time, you know, for it to build and show kind of bullish momentum and that the bulls are gaining control. Yeah, so with GBP CHF, I feel pretty confident in this trade. I've done so many A1 markups, but once again, we never know what the market's gonna do. We can only shift those probabilities into our favor. So NZD CAD, oh man, I don't trade Asia session pairs. Ah, ha, ha, ha. I see what you're looking at. Let me run through my analysis real quick. That looks juicy. Very similar to GBP CHF. Austin, will this keep you out on the 15-minute? Hang on. Slight. Because with GBP CHF, there's no divergence on it. Gotcha. It wouldn't, from my markups, it wouldn't keep me out either. It's just, yeah, exactly. We'd need that RSI in correct position as well. With all the ASFX members watching, if you see something like this from my personal markups and back testing, with high time frames all aligning, don't let divergence, just like Austin said that I wouldn't keep him out, don't let it kind of scare you away from not taking it. Even if you have to size down, but from what I've seen, more likely than not, it does definitely break above it. Especially if we get a right leg as strong as that. And that rising L50. Got 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes before this 15-minute candle closes too. Another thing I do like as well that can, let me just mark this. Is this under 1 minute? Not that we really take this into account on A1s, but it's just something you can chuck in just for added confluence. obviously my confidence on taking a A1 setup on an NZD pair, considering I've tested majority of these ones. Yeah, 100% Austin. Like, I've got the terminal ready to execute, but once I feel any resistance to a trade, even if it's a split second, I won't take it. Higher time frames, everything lines up. Like, this would be a perfect setup. Yeah, like exactly. High time frames are insanely high bias, long bias. I am looking at that 1 minute. I know we don't usually do this for A1 entries, but I reckon it might be able to convince me. Especially that 1 minute bullish divergence as well. Yeah, I've just never traded an Asia session pair on my list really. I do plan. I was saying earlier in the live stream, Austin, that I'm trying to get my hands on Awanda historic data, and I really want to just go through and test at least 5 years back from 2015. I know it's major like overkill, but I reckon that'll be amazing for a lot of the guys in ASFX for sure, just to kind of see how the system performs. That's a big sample size of A1s and D1s. It's holding that 1 minute 8 quite nicely. You know what? I'll pull the trigger on it. I'm in the trade. Reason being is that 1 minute. That 1 minute L50 pulling into the buy zone. Yeah, Jacob, 100%. That's what I plan on doing. I am doing a YouTube video explaining how I backtest for any of the members that want to kind of just do it on their own pace to build confidence. And that risk to reward profile as well, Austin, like, yeah, let's see. I mean, markups and backtesting are just like I'm just going to jump off to 1 minute real quickly. Yeah, markups and backtesting are like your way to being a successful trader. It's helped me so much being able to kind of see how market reacts. I hope the spreads I'm getting on this Traders for Traders practical assessment account on the demo, I hope these spreads are exactly what they are in live on the live account. It's good that my stop is under the 1 hour 8 as well, so that's pretty cool because you can see pretty much the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 hours of candles have been holding that 8 EMA, and this candle here pinned it, so I've got my stop pretty much just under that. The only thing with the backtested data, if I can get my hands on Owanda historic data back until 2015, I have to backtest it in NinjaTrader because there's no way I'm backtesting it in MT4. I really don't like MT4. Like, it's great for an extra execution terminal, and I noticed some pretty decent EAs out there that help with position sizing and calculating your positions, so they make it a lot more easy. But this order terminal is just, I really don't like this. That's why I use the magic keys, but that's all good. Once again, as traders, you're gonna take losses, so you gotta be comfortable. Like, you understand the risk you are putting on the table, you understand the system. So if it hits the stop loss for whatever reason, because the market can do whatever it wants to do, it's perfectly fine. Like, don't beat yourself up about it, don't get emotional. Like, one trade, one loss. I'm only hitting these trades with very small size, but in the grand scheme of things, it really is nothing. Just be 100% process driven with your trading. Don't think about how much money you're going to lose. Don't even think about how much money you're going to win. Just, is it a good trade? Did you follow your plan? And give your trades, don't let emotions kind of dictate how you manage your trades either. Just because your account balance is going in the negative, do not freak out. Give it time to play out. Let it do its thing. Could hold that 15-minute 8 EMA and pop higher. GBP CHF also approaching that 15-minute 21 as well, 21 EMA. About 3.5 minutes left on the 15-minute candle close. Also, my trade management rules are a little bit different on the Traders for Traders practical assessment. Usually when I'm trading my own capital, it is obviously I'm more protective of it. Because this obviously isn't my money, I'm a little bit more lenient on how I manage my trades. And because I'm only hitting it with small risk as well, there's no real point in cutting half position. So I'll just let it go because I'm comfortable with the risk I've put on the table. This candle closes bearish. It might pull that RSI back below the trend line as well. But it could close bullish. We never know. This trade goes my way. Oh, this will be a great replay as well for the AceFX members. And this is always like why we always wait for candle closes as well. It's so important to not make judgment calls off what's happening within the candle. I'm very patient, Austin. Also, next week I will be putting a Be Right Back banner, just because when I do take trades, usually I end up walking away and doing something else. So it's definitely a habit I want to try and keep going as well. So if I do take a trade, I just got to fix up my OBS streamer so where everything will still be playing in the background. It would just be like I'll be away with no mic and camera. Just for about 5-10 minutes, just to let the trade play out and do what it needs to do. And from my back testing, that would be an indecisive candle, not a bearish close. And it did just pin the 15-minute 8 EMA, so there is literally nothing to worry about. There's no signs of it falling. That 15-minute L50 is still rising. should actually fix my entry price here as well. What is it? 9053. There you go. Pretty cool. Some of the AceFX members are also in this trade as well, so that's really cool to see. I was saying yesterday, I really ate commission on trading. It's a really good thing about Awanda. I like no affiliate, just no commission, really good spreads. If you know, you know. Yeah, when I saw this 1 minute L50 rising, that's what induced me. Also, I do have a take profit attached to this order. I just moved it up higher as well. So with traders for traders, I'm not quite sure about the take profit, but when you do execute on an order, you must have a stop loss attached to it. Otherwise, you're instantly breaking the rule, and you obviously take the account off you, or you fail the practical assessment. So once again, another reason I'm using the magic keys. There are other EAs Austin has mentioned to me as well. That you can add to MT4 that kind of help you with position sizing and everything, so you're not using this horrid this thing. Pin that divergence line. Patience and discipline is so important in trading. GBP-CHF broke below the 21.50 minute EMA as well, so still keep an eye on this one as well. I need those ASFX journals, Austin. I need to put my thoughts on paper. Saying in yesterday's stream with pattern recognition and finding patterns that have repeated in the past using obviously significant levels such as EMAs. So obviously I'm on the 1 hour, we had that bullish candle, and then we've had these kind of indecision candles with these long pins to the downside. And if you go back, you see a similar type of scenario over here. And we get that push up. Just over 5 minutes on this 15-minute candle close as well. So we'll see what happens. Holding that 15-minute 8 EMA quite nicely, but it could break it. Once again, I'm not gonna mitigate my risk closing half. Unless we potentially break that 15-minute 8 EMA, then maybe. In terms of parameters and the ASFX edge, this is actually a really, like, in terms of probabilities, in our favor. But as traders, as I was saying before, not every trade is going to be a winner, no matter what grade you give it, an A, B, C, A+, whatever. The best we can do is shift those probabilities into our favor and hit it with the correct size. And that's it, really. Let the market do what it wants to do. Just over a minute on this 15-minute candle close. If it does close any lower than that, the candle, there's no point me closing half the position, as it's more or less coming too close to the stop loss. About 30 seconds left. I'll just let the trade play out. Once again, I know the risk I've got on the table and I'm happy. Yeah, it broke the 8. Yeah, I know. Nah, Neve, I'm not getting out yet, Austin. I'm just going to let it... I've put the risk on the table. I acknowledge that. I'll let it do what it needs to do. Like, yeah, if it closed on the 1 hour 8, maybe, but it's nowhere even, hasn't even, yeah. I don't see any strong exit signals in anyway. That's it, Austin. Don't be outcome driven, just follow the process. That's all there is to it. Just a pip. What am I down? Yeah, I'm down about 3.5 pips. Patience, patience, patience. GU's kind of back at that level. Now it's dropping. GBP CHF. Yeah, it looks like that's going to come down to 50. GCAD just throwing wicks at that 50 EMA. Yeah. This is why having any emotional connection to a trade as well is such a bad idea. Like, as soon as you start getting hopes or any sort of emotion in trading, it's just gonna mess with you. And of course, some trades you can't control, of course, but majority of them, you just gotta let the statistical edge play out over time. It's gonna tap me out. Oh no. Oh. It's all good. Well, maybe not. Let's see if it holds this structure down here. First loss I've taken on the live stream as well, which is a good thing. I'm glad. I think it's good for traders to see that you're gonna take losses. It's part of the game, and you really got to be comfortable with that, no matter how much it can hurt sometimes. But just rinse and repeat the same process for sure. Just over 6 minutes on that 15-minute candle as well, so let's see what happens. No point closing half the trade or pulling it. I'll just let it do what it needs to do. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I'm still in as well. You might even just hold that 1 hour 8 as well. And just, who knows? Who knows what the market will do? You also got to remember you learn more from your losses and your winners as well. So but in terms of this trade, like, you can't fault it too much besides that divergence on top. But I mean, if you were to avoid divergence with no other knocks, you're gonna miss a lot of trades for sure. Couldn't see D1 on GBP CHF as well. About 3.5 minutes left on the 15-minute candle too. So we'll see what happens. If it holds the 21, above the 21, then Definitely not a pain-free trade, but that's alright.
Did I lose this chance for one last dance with my shaking hands? I can barely stand. Did I do too much? Did I push you away? I was in a rush, I'm sorry. And I know that you'll forget. I wake up in the night in a cold sweat to face it. Is it over first now before it began? I know it's crazy, but in my mind I had plans. I had plans. Did I lose this chance for one last dance with my shaking hands? I can barely ask. We got runaway plans. Baby, where do you wanna go? I'm scared to, you know. But I'll never
That 1 minute L50 is also swapped in back into the sell zone as well. So that could be a bearish signal. But let's see. Just let it go now.
Will I find you somehow? I hope you're okay. All those memories.
Yeah, I see that flip.
in
Look at that.
your driveway. Can we turn back time?
I'll probably be well and truly asleep. The time GBP CHF does what it needs to do if it starts building any bullish structure on the 1 minute.
Never thought you would come back. Can't believe you'd remember those times. We laughed and cried. Watched the sunset fall through the
About 40 seconds left. It's holding that to 15 minute 21.
now we say goodbye. Did I lose this chance for one last dance with my shaking hands? I can barely ask. We got runaway plans. Baby, where do you wanna go? I'm scared to, you know, but I'll never let go.
Yeah, it didn't quite close below the 21. Pretty much almost on it really. But looks like it may tag me out. We'll see.
Let me call you tonight, and I need you in my life. Baby, I miss you so much. Just to be I dream about you all night. Didn't realize my sex was so
That was really close to hitting my stop loss. Yeah, like look at that. So close. Could be like an A1 off to 50. Vaccine news. Good old vaccine. I also got tagged out, by the way. I've been trying to do that, Austin. Yes, I just got tagged out for a small 0.25% loss. Yeah, it is what it is with NZD CAD. I'm glad I got this on a live stream too, because like, don't be so outcome driven. Yeah, some trades, especially depending how hard you hit them and how much you size in on them, but this was a great trade in my opinion. But come back tomorrow. It is only Wednesday. Rinse and repeat the process. You know, follow the rules, and I reckon we may find a decent trade tomorrow as well. Markets were a little bit slow during the morning and the start of my stream. GU kind of coming off that level again as well. That 1.32790. But yeah, as always, you do learn more on your losses than your winners. But I think I'm gonna call my live stream here, since it is almost 11 PM here in Sydney. I will take on that info, Austin. I will definitely try and get news at the bottom instead of quotes. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool if I can try and get like an RSS feed of like any breaking news or just Forex related, obviously. So, but no, this is good. This is exciting. Good stuff. Too easy. Alright, thanks everyone for checking out the live stream. Just a small loss on NZD CAD, but other than that, all good. Come back in tomorrow. I'll be live streaming tomorrow again, but not Friday. And rinse and repeat. Thanks, Lindsay. I'm curious to see how like these pairs kind of progress overnight for me. So I still think this comes higher, but I could be wrong. If it breaks the 50, we could see it go lower. But It is what it is. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.